All right, as usual, there is a lot going on in the world right now, and today we are fortunate enough to speak with a couple of guests working hard to create and to educate with new ideas and tools that look to improve our businesses, our lives, and hopefully our futures too. Ticker Insight starts right now. Hello and welcome back to Ticker Insight. I'm your host, Mike Loder, and to our latest story for now. And Kath Clarke is a personal brand strategist helping people create a fully aligned personal brand so they can build a work life around their life's work. It's my pleasure to welcome Kath into the studio. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
It's always nice to have people face to face once again now that things are back to normal.
Yay.
But let's start off simply. What is a personal brand?
Thanks for asking. A personal brand is essentially a conscious curation of the public perception of you. So that might sound a bit contrived, but in a way we're selling ourselves in every moment and in every interaction. So you want to sort of take control of how you're perceived. So it's not everyone needs one, but that is really what it is taking control of the external perception of you.
And this is just going beyond, this goes beyond social media, TikTok, all those kind of things as well?
100%, but encompasses all of it. It's people might get lost in that it's the way you present yourself, your personal styling, but really as I like to encapsulate it in the idea of your unique contribution, which is a packaging of all of your principles, your values, how you present yourself so that you're a complete and authentic package. People know what they're going to get.
Yeah, and they're more likely to engage with somebody who's honest and truthful and who
That's
they are.
right, exactly.
So why do we need one, just based off what I've sort of said there?
Yes.
Is there an algorithm?
Well, look, I mean, I love to think that everybody should do a little bit of personal brand work, even if they don't necessarily need one for a monetization reason. So monetization will be you're a coach, a consultant, a business leader, a corporate leader. Yep. But doing a little bit of personal brand work for everybody is a nice way to tap into it. Just getting a bit more aware around how you come across to people, because that can only make the world a better place if you're sort of, putting yourself out there with a bit more awareness. But essentially the people that need them are someone who is going to monetize them. Yeah,
right. So what happens if I haven't got one? And there's a little equation here. Unaligned equals unfulfilled equals great resignation. Can you explain us?
I can give you a bit of an idea, yes. So look, if you don't have one, then you're really leaving it up to chance how you're perceived. So I really believe, so the women that I work with, and I primarily work with women, it's not exclusive, but it tends to be, that's how it works out. So the people that I work with come to me usually because they don't know how to articulate what it is that they're actually a genius at. They might have been in a work role for 15, 20 years by the time they come and work with me, and they may have built a career path around, and it can be a business or their own, a corporate career path around one version of themselves.
Interesting.
And so then they and it happened to me when I worked in television. I sort of was very good at being a production coordinator, kept going down that path, even though I wanted to jump over to the creative side. But once you're pigeonholed as something that you're good at, it's hard to kind of get out, sort of draw back from that and then repackage yourself. So I like to start with the sort of whole self, that authentic self. What is it? All that life experience, the tapestry, bring it all together and package it up as one unique concept.
So why do you think it's important that people are sort of fulfilled? And where does that sit in amongst all of this?
Sure. So if you, again, I mean, like I said, I ended up being unfulfilled in a sexy thing, television,
gig,
right?
Yep.
So I should have been fulfilled, and this is what's happening for a lot of people, should have been.
Yeah.
And I think this is how we've ended up in the Great Resignation. I've got a good job, I should be happy with the work perks, this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, because they haven't built a brand aligned to that whole self, that whole authentic self, they can't really present all of themselves at work, and therefore they're leaving parts out, and so they're coming to work and only being part of who they are, and it leads to unfulfillment and a lack of alignment to that sort of the opportunities that start coming their way are unaligned to where they want to go. So I think when you get a grasp of who you are as a whole person and bring that into the branding exercise from the beginning, then you're really aligning yourself to the right opportunities coming across your path.
Kath, does that extend to sort of disassociation with yourself and who you are and all this sort of, there's sort of more of a mental health thing there as well in terms of like burning out because you're not sure of if it goes over a long period of time.
That's exactly right. I think if you, like I said, if you begin with with one version of yourself, then you are on a fast track to burnout. And I truly believe, I mean, I was just reading a poll today by the female lead. Over 70% of C-suite executives say that if they could, they would swap jobs right now because of that burnout. They're on that pathway. It's exhausting, and it is an epidemic, you know, at the moment.
Well, so how can people possibly sort of find more alignment in their day-to-day lives, or maybe take a step back and go, I need to sit on a beach for a bit and work out who I am?
Yeah, and that's it. A lot of people do. They sort of, you know, crash on the couch, or maybe they'll take a sabbatical or a career break to sort of give themselves that time. Or, you know, COVID gave us that time to sort of reflect, reconnect, work out who we truly are. And at the core of that now, people are sort of re-emerging and saying, you know what, I don't want to be a cog in a wheel anymore. And and a lot of them are also searching for more purpose in their everyday life, like in that 9 to 5 period of time. So that's a big challenge for the companies as well. You know, they're really going to have to sort of start bringing that whole self to work and starting to create roles around who you are between 9 and 5, and what you can offer from your outside life and bringing that into that 9 and 5 as well.
You have single-handedly explained a greater understanding of the Great Resignation that I've come across on the program. So that was very clever from you. I think there's just another side to it. It was really quite cool. But thank you so much for joining me on the program in studio, unpacking it.
Thank you.
I'm going to go do some thinking myself.